In school, mostly college, everybody has their ramen stories. Their, instant ramens, you don't have any money, so you go and buy your packs of ramen and you cook them off. Now, I didn't go to college. I went to culinary school, but we had just as much fun as we were in college. We were basically pirates without a ship. Just like everybody in their years, I cooked off the ramen and I thought I was a genius back in the day for cracking an egg in it or putting a can of tuna in it. And it was cheap. It was like, $3 to make this whole meal. You got a little protein, you got some noodles, you got your belly full. But, after a night out, having a really good time, you'd come home, you'd eat that, or I would just eat it because we were broke. So I want to do something fun. So I saw these, this is spicy ramen, artificial spicy chicken flavor, carbonara. So it's like a spicy carbonara. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of the spicy carbonara mixed with the techniques of a real carbonara. So let's get into it. Two and a half cups of water, according to our package. While we're waiting for that to come to a boil, we're gonna start getting our prep for our carbonara. Now, classic carbonara, you can do, honestly, you can use any noodles you want, but you use I like to do it with bucatini, but you can kind of use with any long noodle you want. Purists out there that say you can't do this, you can't do that. But the fact that I'm making carbonara with ramen noodles, I think that goes out the window. So we don't have to worry about that at all. We don't have to worry about comments about being traditional. This is nowhere near traditional. So spicy carbonara. We're gonna do it with the bacon, with the eggs, Parmesan, and I'm gonna do a little bit of butter because we're not being traditional. So I wanna throw some butter in mine. Let's start with our bacon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut up our bacon. Classic carbonara, you use guanciale, which is like a smoked pork jowl. So I think, if we're just doing spicy ramen carbonara style, I think you're okay to use bacon instead of guanciale. So we're gonna use bacon. And a little tip, a little trick. When you're cutting your bacon, you wanna throw it in the freezer for a little bit. If you throw it in the freezer for a little bit, it cuts up 10 times easier. So when it's a little frozen, you can cut it so much easier. Then when you take it out of the package, it's all wet, it stretches. You can stretch that bacon out and it's all mushy when you cut it. We are gonna go, when it's frozen like this, look at that. Cuts up beautifully. I'm using 3 strips of really thick cut bacon. Whether we use all this bacon or not, we don't know. I just want to cut it all up. We'll see from there. Bacon is cut. So let's open our package up and throw it in there. It's like hurting my eyes how neon these noodles are. I love it, so let's do it. So ramen is ramening. There's several different ways you can do your carbonara. I'm gonna do the way of 2 eggs. I'm gonna go 1 egg whole, and I'm gonna do 1 egg yolk, because I want that extra fat. So if we're doing this, we're gonna do it right. So I'm gonna do a little of that white out of there, and just go yolk. All right. You see a lot of different recipes adding the eggs and adding the Parmesan in with the eggs and black pepper. We're no different. We're gonna do that exact same thing. We're gonna go egg yolks. Black pepper. Now, people say no black pepper. Some people love black pepper in it. I love black pepper, so I'm putting black pepper in it. Parmesan. And you kind of whisk that up in this bowl. What we're gonna do is when these noodles are cooked, we're gonna toss all this together with the noodles and then put it back in our pan and saute it up. Nice and gentle so the eggs don't scramble. There we go, there's our egg, Parmesan, little pepper mix. Just like when you're waiting for your ramen, it's supposed to take 5 minutes to cook, but I think it takes like 40 minutes to cool because I think everybody's been there when you were waiting for your ramen and it finally finishes and you just start devouring it and you just scrape the whole top of your mouth off from the heat. I mean, just trying to just get it in as fast as possible. I started adding the egg and the tuna mix. This is back in the culinary school days because it would cool it down right away. Also, I'm getting a little bit of protein. I'm gonna add my spicy mix in. I'm not doing all of it, I'm gonna do a little bit of it. So this is the cheese powder. That tastes literally nothing like carbonara. That tastes more like chive, scallion, and onion powder and garlic powder. I'll just add a little bit of that in there. just to kind of bring up the umami, because there's definitely a bunch of MSG in there, which is going to give it so much flavor. All right, our spicy ramen is cooking. It's getting there. All right, let's test these out. Those are done. That is spicy. That's gonna be a spicy carbonara. So let's let this rest, kind of absorb some of that liquid. So let's let this rest. Let's start our bacon. All right, bacon going in. Let this bacon kind of render out. There's a lot of fat, and you want some of that fat mixed in with your whole carbonara mix, but you don't want too much fat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how much fat this gives us. We probably only want about a tablespoon, half a tablespoon of fat left over to give that smokiness to the carbonara. We don't want too much or it's just gonna break and it's gonna be all oily on the plate. So let's see how much fat we get from this. So that bacon is nice and crispy and all that fat is rendered out. Look at all that fat. That is way, way more fat than we're gonna need. And yes, it's delicious, but I don't wanna overpower the carbonara. We wanna keep some of this fat. We don't wanna keep all this fat because it will break the sauce. It's too much fat, it's too much smokiness. You want that light, salty smokiness of the bacon. So we're gonna keep a little of this fat. We're gonna pour some out. Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm gonna kind of temper my noodles in with my eggs. I don't want these eggs to scramble. So I'm gonna do a little temper action. Those are all tempered up. Normally you'd have a little pasta water to kind of put it back in here and kind of help it out. We don't have pasta water, so I'm just gonna do like a little bit of water. Bacon fat, tiny bit of water. Gonna kind of let that emulsify. And then I'm gonna go in. All right, so this, you gotta really move it or else it's gonna scramble. All right, look at this. That is nice and thick from the eggs, emulsifying with that cheese, that bacon fat. Look at that. That is nice and thick and beautiful. So we're gonna add in our bacon. And this is already really creamy, really cheesy, but we're still gonna add in a pinch more of Parmesan. We're gonna finish, pat of butter. Now, do you really need a pat of butter? This is so creamy. There's so much fat. No, you don't need a pat of butter, but we're making spicy carbonara from ramen noodles, so why not get a little crazy? You're gonna be doing something like this. You don't try to have to make this fancy. So there we go. To add insult to injury, yes, I am gonna do this. Egg yolk, fresh grated Parmesan. Just garnish a couple little strips of our crispy bacon. There you have it. This is the spicy carbonara made with instant ramen noodles. I already know it's gonna be good. I can smell it. I know everything that was going in there. This is gonna be a delicious, delicious, delicious dish. This is one of those things that, yeah, do you have to make it this fancy? No. But is it fun and is it cool to do it? It absolutely is. So let's dig into this guy. Oh my goodness gracious. You gotta pop that egg in there. Look at that color. Little bacon, little Parmesan. I got that egg yolk on there. It's already pretty thickened from the eggs and from the cheese powder packet. That is so indulgent. That is like so indulgent, but my God, is it good. After you had a Michelin star meal and you're still hungry when you get home, this is what you make. It's so creamy from the Parmesan, the eggs, and that like powdered cheese mix that they gave us. It's spicy from that spice mix they gave us, but it's not too hot because I'm calming it down with all that fat and all that cheese. And bacon adds that smokiness and a little bit of that salt. And honestly, the butter, more fat, fresh Parmesan. This is the way to go. I want you to make all my dishes, but this is something that if you make this, there's no way you're gonna say it's gross. This is amazing. Try this. Hey guys, Brad Miller here. Thanks so much for watching my recipe videos. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and it keeps me making these really fun videos for you guys because that's honestly what I love to do. I love making really fun recipe videos for all you guys. So like, subscribe, and hey, comment below and let me know what you guys want to make, what you guys think. Just keep rocking and rolling with it.